Alrighty. This is the 2023 NCAA Division III Women's Basketball Championship Semifinal post-game press conference with Transylvania University. With us today are Transylvania head coach Julie Folks and Pioneer student athletes Madison Kellyone, Deja Thornton, and Lakin Ball. Coach Folks, would you like to start by making an opening statement?
I'm really proud of this group. And I wish we could have Kennedy Stacy in here as our fourth senior. They have held their own all year, and their ability to fight through adversity. The last few games we have not started incredibly well, and they do a great job of figuring out how to find a way to score. I thought Maddie did an unbelievable job early of helping us in the scoring column while we were kind of getting settled down, and then these two were just absolute animals inside. And we didn't shoot it particularly well, but I thought they did a really good job of understanding and finding ways to score at the rim, which has been true for them all year when we haven't shot it well from the outside. So we've been in a lot of big games, but this was obviously the biggest and on the road with a big crowd. And I thought they did a great job of rising to the occasion and finding a way in really big moments.
At this point, we will open it up for questions to the media.
Coach, game kind of swings there in the second quarter. You guys are down. Morrison picks up her second foul, goes to the bench. You outscore them 16-4 and lead the rest of the way. You talk a little bit about the difference there. Morrison versus not Morrison.
Well, there's a reason she's the player of the year in the country. She does a great job scoring inside. We were trying to find different ways to attack her inside. That's been one of our pillars all year is to put people on the defensive inside and see if we can get them in foul trouble. And this group does a great job of attacking the rim and really putting people in a tough spot in terms of how are they going to defend us. And so obviously that was a huge swing during that stretch. That was kind of when we finally found our groove on offense. And went to a couple different sets that we knew we could throw the ball inside. Deja was unbelievable in the second quarter and gave us a huge lift while Lakin was sitting on the bench most of the first half. So we were dealing with that as well. And we got some really good minutes out of Kenny Harris and Sadie Worth during that moment too. But at the end of the day, this group finds a way. And I thought Maddie hit some really big shots. We went to the isolation set for her. And going into halftime, I think you were 6 for 6, so that was impressive.
Deja, you might be one of the best I've ever seen at drawing fouls on other players, and not just Morgan and Caitlin. You're going back last week against NYU. Is that a skill you've developed somehow?
Not really. It's just something, I guess, that comes natural. I'm not, as strong and as built as everybody else, but that's something else that I can do. I have the speed, and it's just unfortunate.
Well, not for you.
Yeah. For everyone else.
Lakin, what's she like to cover in practice?
I'm fouled out pretty much. The same situations, but she makes me better, and I feel like I beat her up a little too. So it's 50-50.
Madison, can you talk a little bit about the fourth quarter there? They start to get their legs. They get it down to, I think, 7 or so. It's 5 at one point, and then you hit a 3 and take the air out of the building.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about much at that point. I just knew I was open, so I just let it fly. But I can give all the credit to my teammates. We wouldn't be where we are today without the grit and the fight of this team. I think we showed that when they started making a run, and we were able to pull it out.
What was it like to come out to a gym for any of the players that's mostly Smith, so it feels kind of like you're playing an away game?
Yeah, we kind of knew that coming in that it was going to be more of a home game for them because they have their fan base is a lot closer than ours. But we'd like to thank our fans for making the trip. We had a lot of people there, and their energy kind of helped us, pick up our energy, and we were able to pull that off.
Coach, you've emphasized the joys in the journey throughout this year. It's your first time playing away from Transylvania, I think, in the tournament. So what are your thoughts now?
I think coming into this year with the season they had last year, one of the things we were worried about was the huge expectations. And so we talked about it really early on, and we coined that phrase because we didn't want a loss all of a sudden to find this group. They collectively have been through so much, including all of the COVID things and all the, kind of off the court things that happened last year. And I just wanted to make sure at the end of the day, it wasn't going to be the wins and losses that determined whether they had a great year, because we had a blast last year, even though we came up a game short. So we had really big goals, and we just wanted to be grateful to be able to, have every day together that we could have. And we've embraced it. Now you say that, I'm about to start crying. But I think that is their actual strength. They show up and they have a lot of fun, and whatever's happening at the moment, we can come to basketball, and that part of the day is good. And that's what we want it to be like every day, that they're having a great time, and competing for them is probably their most fun. And so, for them, just being able to play in this game, they love big crowds, they love big moments. We have grown up a lot in 4 years in terms of handling those really well, and that was probably the difference today.
I'm not sure I'm going to get this right, so hopefully one of you can correct me. I think maybe, Coach, you have the door of your office with a number of cards on it. I promise I'm not trying to make you cry here.
Yeah.
And one of them said, go to the national championship, and you asked that player if she thought that was realistic. Can you tell me that story?
Well, that was new this year to go with us. We have a dream door in my office, and so everybody put their dreams up there. And most of the cards, they all say national championship. And so, we want them to dream big and check in on those dreams. And then, the other part of that was, if we were going to have really big dreams, we needed to make sure we were doing everything we could to find ways to make those come through. And, credit honestly to our assistant coaches. Coach Verrill and Coach Pruitt have done so many individual workouts with our players, whether it was days of shooting free throws, just different things. And, we're now past five months, and a huge shout out to everybody who did all the extra stuff to figure out how to make their individual games better so that we could collectively be better.
Did any of the three of you put one on the door that says national championship? Did all three of you put one on the door? So what's it feel like? You're one game away.
I mean, it's a dream come true, I guess. That was the first thing I put down. I mean, that's the first thing I thought of, and then just continuing on in my career. I would like to just check everything off eventually.
Last question from me. You guys I asked Christopher Newport the same thing. You're undefeated, you have this big win, and now you have 2 weeks off. How will you spend that time?
Recovery.
Yeah. I think we could all use a little rest at this point, so coaches included. And Christopher Newport, let's figure out how to handle the press in the next 2 weeks. They're really, really good, and what they do is obviously really challenging. So, we will take several days off and then regroup and start working on that and figuring out how we can have a plan for the next time.
All right. Go ahead.
To any and all of you can answer this. How meaningful is it to have such support back at home on campus and from everybody that you have backing you?
It means absolute world to us. The amount of texts I got today, people wishing us good luck, and even our hometowns have been so supportive of each and every one of us. And I think my hometown had a watch party back home, and even the fact that so many parents and relatives made the trip to come, it means so much to us that we can have such a supportive group of all of us.
Any other questions? This concludes our NCAA Women's Basketball Championship Semifinal Press Conference with Transylvania University. Thanks to the coaches and players, and best of luck in the finals in Dallas, April.
Thank you.